What is up, everybody? It is Luke Belly with the Sideline Scoop, and I thought today we would cover some trade rumors. So, past couple days, as I've been going through, Google searching Packers news, trying to see what's going on, I've come across a few articles that have sort of talked about the potential of J.J. Watt coming to the Green Bay Packers. And of course, these are just rumors, but seeing a few people talk about it on certain articles, I figured that I would sort of do a little bit of research on this and sort of talk about the pros and cons for the Packers of, if this deal potentially went down. And I think lots of times when you have a team who obviously has a chance to go to a Super Bowl, some teams want to capitalize and find a player maybe like J.J. Watt to bring to their squad just to really, bring their talent over the top, sort of fix some maybe weaknesses on their very, very powerful team. If we take a look in the past couple weeks, there have been a couple Super Bowl teams who have made some moves to really acquire some very good talent. So yesterday, the Ravens acquired Yannick Ngakoue from the Minnesota Vikings for a third-round pick, obviously boosting that Ravens team. And then last week, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs signed Le'Veon Bell to a deal after the Jets decided to release him. So as you can see, some Super Bowl teams are starting to make some moves, trying to make their team better, and so who knows, maybe the Packers could do this as well. So if we sort of take a look from the Texans side right now, would they be willing to trade J.J. Watt? Would that be a possibility? So of course, right now, the Texans are 1-5. They've recently, fired their coach, and it sort of seems like they're in a rebuild. It sort of seems like they want to rebuild their team around Deshaun Watson. And so right now, the Texans have already traded away a first and a second round pick to the Miami Dolphins for, I guess, next year's draft. And so you'd have to think that the Texans want to get some draft picks, because how are you going to build a team up if you have 0 draft picks? So the Texans, I think, need draft picks, and one way to get these draft picks could be to trade J.J. Watt. And as I've been looking, lots of people think that J.J. Watt right now could be worth a second round pick, maybe a third round pick, some said a late first round pick. I just don't really think J.J. Watt brings that much to their team just because they're not contenders. So honestly, it could make more sense for them to trade J.J. Watt and bring on, some draft picks for, to build around Deshaun Watson for their future. So now if we take a look from the Packers side, why could this make sense? Would it make sense to bring J.J. Watt in? Would he sort of fill a role that would really improve this Packers team? So right now, if we sort of take a look at this Packers pass rush, last year, of course, we were dominant when it came, to rushing the quarterback with Za'Darius Smith and Preston Smith. And this year, even though we still have talent on that line, we have been much worse than last year up to this point. So if we take a look at this Packers pass rush right now, the Packers have 53 pressures, which is just, of course, pressuring the quarterback, according to Pro Football Focus, which puts them on pace for 170 pressures. And you may say, what does that mean? I have no idea. Honestly, I didn't really know too much right before this. But last year, the Packers had 304 pressures. So the fact that right now they're on pace for 170 and last year they had 304, obviously, we are not as good when it comes to rushing the quarterback as we were one season ago. Who knows, maybe that can improve in the next few weeks and really start to push us up, towards that 300 pressures mark. But maybe the Packers can just need a little bit added, just to add some talent. Maybe J.J. Watt can bring that talent in. If we take a look at Za'Darius Smith in particular, he had 93 pressures last year, and right now he is only on pace for 43. So basically cut in half. And if we take a look at Preston Smith, last season he had 55 pressures, and right now he's only on pace for 22. So as you can see, they haven't been as dominant. That duo hasn't been as dominant as they were last year up to this point. So now if we take a look at what the Packers have to give up, maybe a second round pick, maybe a third round pick, would that make sense? And then we also have to factor in J.J. Watt's contract, because even if he was, great fit for this Packers team, if we have to pay him too much money, then he may not be worth it. So let's take a look at his contract right now. So between next week and the end of the season, he's due to make $9.1 million. Definitely, not a small amount of money. And then next season, he is due $17.5 million. So considering that after this season, there are lots of Packers players who are going to be free agents the Packers will likely want to sign. We got David Bakhtiari will be a free agent. Aaron Jones will be a free agent. Kevin King, Corey Linsley. And the Packers are definitely going to want to keep, 3, if not 4 of those guys. And if we bring in J.J. Watt, considering the Packers would have to pay him $17.5 million, honestly, I just don't know if that would make sense with that amount of money. But one other thing to think about, J.J. Watt did grow up in Wisconsin, so maybe he'd be willing to come into Green Bay, take a little bit of a pay cut, and, come and possibly win a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if J.J. Watt will be open to that. J.J., if you are, feel free to come through. Feel free to take a pay cut to make this team better. That would just be amazing. Packers fans would just adore you for that. But, people got to make money, and J.J. Watt may not want to, get shortchanged, basically. So when we take a look at all the factors in general, honestly, I'm not too sure if this could happen. Of course, the Packers will be better with J.J. Watt on our team, but if we have to pay him so much money, I just don't know if it's worth it, but who knows? Maybe he could take a pay cut, maybe he wouldn't. But from the Texans side, I really do think it makes sense for them to trade J.J. Watt, considering right now they're just not really contenders at all. They need some draft picks. So I think from the Texans side, it makes sense. But that is basically what I want to break down on this trade rumor. Now you guys have a little bit of a background. You know, maybe it can make sense, maybe it would make sense. But I just wanted to cover that just because people have been talking about it. So that is all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you smash the like button down below. My goal is to get 40 likes on this video. I don't know if I've even gotten 30 likes on a video, but I'm going big. I'm going for 40 today. But if you guys have not yet subscribed, feel free to subscribe to the channel. But thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys on the next one.